What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show. We talk all things money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And in today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to flip your very first home. So if this is your first time at this channel, welcome. My name is Ryan Pineda. I flipped hundreds of homes. We are actively doing it out here in Las Vegas. And I've done many different videos about how to find deals, contractors, how to raise money, and all the different aspects of flipping. But I wanted to do one video that kind of just covers all the basics you need to know if you are a beginner. So if you have flipped houses already, congrats. You still will probably get value out of this video, but it is definitely geared towards somebody who has never flipped before, and I want to teach you how you can get that first deal. Now look, flipping is something that is very in-depth. There are a lot of moving pieces, so my whole goal is to simplify it as much as possible so you have all the tools to succeed. All right, so as we get into this, I want you to get a pen and a paper or get your laptop out and start taking notes. You'll see why here in a second. You can pause this video if needed. All right, so there are 5 main pieces that you're going to need in order to flip a house. Number 1 is the deal, number 2 is the money, number 3 is the contractor, number 4 is a realtor, and number 5 is the title company. That's it. Those are the only pieces you need. Now, some of those pieces are easier to find than others. My guess is some of those pieces you already have. So what I want you to do is, as we go through this video, mark what you already have. Who do you know that can fit in that role? Then you can figure out who you need. So let me jump into the easy ones first. The realtor and the title company go hand in hand. Realtors already have title companies that they work with. I think almost everyone watching this video probably knows a realtor. In fact, you might be a realtor. So if you already know a realtor, that's great. But here's the deal. Just because you may know them doesn't mean they're the right one for you. You want a realtor who's got experience with investors. And so maybe the person you know does, maybe they don't. You also want a title company that's got experience with investors. The types of deals we do as investors sometimes can be more complex, and there are a lot of title companies who don't quite understand it. So instead of just going with the first person you know, you can actually go on Facebook groups and meetup groups to find these people who I'm talking about. If you search for house flipping or real estate investing or wholesaling real estate on Facebook, on meetup.com, you will find a bunch of groups that are dedicated to this. Now on Facebook, a bunch of them might just be giant groups that are nationwide. That's okay. You can simply join the group, make a post and say, hey, my name's Ryan. I'm a brand new flipper here in Las Vegas. Does anyone have any realtor referrals for investors? Does anyone have any title company referrals for investors? You're gonna get a ton of people who are gonna respond with realtors, with title companies. They themselves may even be a realtor and you can connect directly with them. Same thing on meetup.com. Now granted, right now during the pandemic, there's not a lot of meetups. But if you do attend these meetups, you're gonna meet a lot of people who are like-minded in the investing industry. So just by joining the Facebook groups, both the national ones and the local ones, you can search Las Vegas house flipping, Las Vegas wholesaling real estate. You're gonna meet the right people. Same thing on meetup.com, except you're gonna probably meet them in person. So literally right now after this video, you could already have your realtor and your title company like that. So that's simple. The next easiest one would be your contractor. And everything I just said about the realtor and the title company on how to find them with the Facebook groups and the meetups applies to the contractor. You can go in those same groups and say, who's got contractor recommendations? You can go to the realtors that you talk to and say, hey, do you know any contractors? Honestly, the easiest way to find a contractor is through referrals. I've done other videos on how to find contractors. I'll link them to the description below if you want to get in depth on that. But this is the most simple way to find a contractor for your flip. So like that, in the span of a couple of minutes, you already eliminated 3 of the 5 things you need. The next easiest one to find is money. Now I know a bunch of you are thinking, really? Money's the easiest to find? No way, like that's the hardest to find. I don't have any money. How am I gonna flip a house? And I can promise you, there is more money in the world than there are deals right now. I don't know if you saw it, but the US just printed trillions of dollars. Interest rates are at all-time lows. Investors are looking for places to put their money. And you as a flipper have an opportunity to give them a great return that other places don't. So the easiest way you're gonna find money on your first deal is through what I call hybrid lending. And it's when you mix hard money with private money. So let's first talk about hard money lenders. They are professional lenders who lend on fix and flips for a living. They charge high interest rates, they have high fees, but they'll lend to you really fast. They don't really care about debt to income ratio. They don't really care about W-2 jobs. They don't care about all the things that you would think they'd care about with a 30-year loan. All they really care about is the deal. And to find these people is very easy. You can do the same thing with the Facebook groups and the meetup groups. Ask who they use for hard money lending. You can also do a Google search and just say Las Vegas hard money lender, and you're gonna get a ton of searches for hard money lenders. There is no shortage of them. In fact, I will give you 3 big nationwide lenders right here. I use Lending Home a lot. Lima One Capital is a big lender. Lending One is a big lender. That's 3 right there that are nationwide. Now, assuming that you're a first-time flipper, you're not gonna get as good at terms as someone like me who's experienced. But typically, as long as it's a good deal, they'll lend you up to 80% of whatever you need. And that includes both purchase and rehab. So to take a theoretical deal, let's just say that you're gonna buy a house for $80,000 and the renovation is $20,000. So you're all in for $100,000. And you think you're gonna sell the home for $170,000. Well, they'll give you 80% of that $100,000 that you need. So they're gonna give you 80% of the $80,000 purchase price, and then they'll give you 80% of the $20,000 rehab. So that covers most of it, which is great, but you still need to figure out where that other 20% is gonna come from. Do you have it personally? Are you willing to max out your credit cards like I did? Or you just do it the safer way, which is what I teach my students now, and that is to combine it with private money. Go find somebody else who has the 20% and bring them on as a partner. Either guarantee them a flat interest rate on their money or partner up with them for an equity split. So the way it would work is you'd get your hard money loan for 80% of it, then you go find this 20 grand from somebody else, and then you would just say, for your 20 grand, I will pay you 10% interest, 12% interest, or we'll split the profit 50-50, or I'll pay you back $5,000 on your 20 grand, whatever it is. When you're trying to do your first deal, you can't be worrying about getting the very best terms ever. You just want to do the deal. And with how I'm telling you to do it, you're gonna get into the deal for no money. And that's why I say you don't need a lot of money to start. It's very easy to find a hard money lender who will give you 80%, and it's not that hard to find somebody with $20,000, $30,000. There's a lot of people who got that kind of money. Think about this, even in this theoretical scenario where we're talking about borrowing $20,000 from this person, if you told them that, hey, we'll split the profit 50-50, remember, that house we're talking about selling for $170 will probably profit $50,000. So they could make $25,000 profit on their $20,000 investment. Where else could they get that kind of return on $20,000? Doesn't exist. They are very likely to invest with you when you really break down the numbers and you incentivize it the right way. The one thing I'll add to just that whole scenario that I didn't mention is that you should get more than $20,000. Even though $20,000 is what you need for the down payment, you're still gonna need to make interest payments every month. You're still gonna have some holding costs. You're still gonna have other things you gotta pay for. So in that scenario, I would ask this person for $30,000. Give me an extra $10,000 to cover some interest payments, closing cost, etc. All right, so that's how you're gonna cover the money portion, and that covers 4 of the 5 that we've been talking about. Now, if you have a pen and paper and you've been writing this stuff down, hopefully you already know how many of these things you can accomplish really quickly right after this video. The reason I keep stressing that is I want you guys to take action. Don't think about it, just take action. Now, the last piece that I've been waiting to talk about is the hardest to do, and that is deals. Finding a good deal is the hardest portion of this. Many people think finding the money is the hardest part of this, but it's not. It's actually really easy. We just discussed the contractor. We can find them through referrals. Realtors are easy to find. Title companies are easy to find. But the deals are where the money is made. If you can't find deals, none of that stuff matters. Now, really, there are 3 ways to find deals, and I'm not going in depth on them, but just so you're aware, the 3 major ways to find deals are on the MLS, through wholesalers, and through direct marketing. Those are the 3 ways that we find deals. If you're just starting out and you want to flip a house, I would not do direct marketing. Direct marketing is a whole different business in itself. And look, I don't want to say you shouldn't do it or not, but it is not the easiest way. Remember, this video is about the easiest way to get your first deal. Direct marketing, I love. It's very lucrative if you do it right. We get the majority of our deals from direct marketing at this point, but it is tough to get it set up and going. But if you are interested in direct marketing, one of the biggest things that we use is batch leads. I've done a video on it. I have an affiliate for it. You can find both of those in the description below. It's a great tool that can help you get really good deals. Doesn't cost you a lot of money. That's why I recommend it. But let's talk about the other 2, wholesalers and MLS. Those are much easier. Now, obviously with the MLS, we know that those are properties that are on the market. And look, there are a lot of ways to get deals on the MLS. One of my favorite ways is through auto searches. In my book and my online course, we go over exactly how to do that. all you gotta do is go to futureflipper.com or click the link below. We go over that in depth. Don't really have time to do it on this video, but just know that that is the best way to get deals on the MLS, through auto searches. But most likely, the easiest way for you to get your very first deal flipping is through a wholesaler. So a wholesaler is somebody who finds deals for a living. So at my company, not only do we flip, but we also wholesale. Instead of us buying the deals, we will take a quick profit and sell it to another flipper. And you might be saying,
well, Ryan, why would you do that?
Because there are deals where it just makes more sense for us to wholesale them. But then there are a lot of wholesalers who strictly only wholesale. They don't want to buy properties. They don't want to fix them up. They don't want to deal with any of that. And so they will happily sell you the deal and make a quick profit. And so really, to get your very first deal, you just need to network with as many wholesalers as possible. And if you can remember and you've been taking good notes, then you know that you should be networking in these Facebook groups and in these meetups already. These are groups made for wholesalers to be in. And so if you're going into a Facebook group, make a post and say, hey, I'm a new flipper, wholesaler, submit your info. I want to be on your buyers list. Other thing you can do is go in the Facebook search bar for that group and search your city name. So you'll search your city name and then just take a look at all the posts regarding your city. You're gonna see wholesalers who are putting their deals on there. Now, the deals are probably gone by this point, right? They might be even years old, but you can still go DM those wholesalers and build a relationship. And so the key would be to get on as many wholesaler lists as possible. Once you start getting these deals sent to you, you're now gonna have opportunities to buy that first deal. And the beauty with this is you don't have to go and search the MLS every day. You don't have to market directly to sellers and spend a lot of money. It is completely free to network with wholesalers and have them send you deals. And that's why I believe for a new person starting out, it is the best way. It doesn't cost you money. You don't have to spend as much time working on it. Just meet as many people as you possibly can. But on top of that, I like to use the MLS as well. That's how I started. I strictly was MLS and wholesalers for years before I ever started doing direct marketing. And we made a lot of money just doing that. So that's how you're gonna figure out the deals side of it. As I said, deals are the hardest part of this business. That's where the gold is. But obviously they're out there. There are people like me who are doing over 100 a year. There are people who work full-time jobs doing multiple deals every year. It doesn't matter what boat you're in, you can find a deal. You just gotta put the work in. Now, as I said in the beginning, the point of this video is to really simplify everything for you, help you understand who you need to know, how to find them, all that stuff. Learning to evaluate deals and figure out what they're worth, learning to calculate rehab costs, learning the whole step-by-step process of how a deal works is a whole nother video. I've talked about them in different videos. Just go to the real estate playlist on my channel. And I hate to sound like this is a sales pitch for my book and my course, but as I've mentioned them before, you learn everything in those as well. Unfortunately, house flipping is not something that can be taught in just one YouTube video. There's a lot of pieces to it, but my hope is that this video showed you that, hey, you know what? I'm not that far away from flipping my first deal. It's really not as hard as I thought. I can tell you the steps themselves are very simple. Executing them is what makes the difference. There are plenty of people who know how to flip a house, yet never do it. So the question you gotta ask yourself is, can I take this information and actually implement it? And I think you can. I see people do it every single day from no experience at all. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to put in the work or not. But anyways, I hope this video helps you out. I hope it inspires you. I hope you go out there and flip your very first house. I'd love to see it. If you got value out of this, do me a big favor. Go hit the like button. If you haven't already, go hit the subscribe button. Go follow me on all the socials. Until next time, take care.